Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you a really cool card control that I'd like to call it as the illusion control.
Do you want me to?
Alright, in today's video, I'm first going to talk about and demonstrate what the performance would actually look like, and afterwards I'm going to move on to the tutorial itself. I'm going to talk about the mechanics and everything, and after that I'm actually going to give you some tips to improve your performance and how you can practice and everything like that, and then I'm going to talk about some applications that you can use this in. So without wasting more time, let's actually move on to the thing itself. So the performance would look somewhat like this. Okay, they can call out any card they want, and let's say they call the 7 of diamonds right here. We're going to just out jog it right there, and then the process of leaving the 7 of diamonds right there out jogged and pushing it in, the 7 of diamonds actually jumps right back up to the top. Now this is an illusion. That's why I like calling this the illusion control, because you're actually distracting the audience while doing the control, and it's almost like an illusion. Okay, so let's say they called out the jack of clubs, the same thing, push it in, brings it to the top. Okay, maybe once more, because I love this control. Okay, so jack of diamonds, leave it out jogged. Oops, the camera just turned off by itself, sorry about that. So jack of diamonds right here, and then leave it out jogged and push it in, jumps right back to the top. Now here's the thing, I don't really want to get into the tutorial yet, because since it's an illusion, I kind of want to see if you can figure it out by yourself or not. Okay, so I'm going to go extremely slow, and let's see if you can actually follow what I'm doing and if you can catch what I'm doing. Okay, so again, extremely slow. They can name out any card they want, the 7 of diamonds for an example. And then boom, you see what I did there? I actually grabbed onto a different card, the 10 of hearts, because 7 of diamonds is here, the 10 of hearts is actually here. See, that's the control pretty much. Okay, so the tutorial itself, what you're going to do is you're going to start in a mechanics grip like so, except that you're not going to start in the normal face down mechanics grip. You're going to start off in this kind of grip, where all the cards are actually facing up, not facing down. So from here, you're going to start spreading the cards, but you don't want to spread the cards really messy like so. That's not even messy, but you know what I mean. You don't want to do this or something like that. You want to make sure that you can spread somewhat neat, like so. Okay, the way I do it is I use my pinky down here to make sure all the cards spread out neat. That was supposed to be my tips and at the end, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So use your pinky, it will help you spread the cards a bit neater, and if you want, you can actually use the index finger at the top at the same time. See, so you can do whatever you want, but those are some beginners tips that I used to do. Now from there, let's say we're going to use a red back, the Joker. Okay, so Joker is a red back, that's the only card, and we're going to make sure that the spectator chooses a Joker. Okay, so let's say the spectator is like, ew, I like the Joker, and then you're going to use your middle finger and your ring finger of your right hand and out jog the Joker around halfway. Okay, halfway from the bottom card. Okay, so once you have done that, you have to just make sure that the cards on your right hand do not square up. Cards on your left hand stay spreaded. Okay, so you don't want to square them up, you just want to keep them spread out like so. Okay, so again, you want to keep the spread on your both hands. Okay, it helps with the distraction and the illusion itself. Now from here, you're actually going to take your right hand and go like this, square it up with a Joker like so, not like this, not like this, not like this. You're going to square it up with a Joker, this packet. Okay, so once you have done that, you're actually going to not only grab onto the Joker, but the jack of clubs at the same time. That's why it's a lot easier if you make sure that the Joker lines up and overlaps with the jack of clubs at the below. Because if you do this, you're going to have some hard time grabbing onto the jack of clubs. I have to go this far, so it gets a bit difficult. So if you line it up or overlap directly on top and square it up, it's going to be so much easier to grab onto the jack of clubs at the same time. Okay, So make sure you do that. You square it up, square the top up at the same time again, and then this is what you're ultimately doing. Okay, so this is a move that I'm going to teach you right now. See how Joker jumps to the top. So let's go back to where we were. The Joker right here. They call it the Joker, and instead of the Jack, this time is the King, and you're just going to grab onto the Joker and the King at the same time using your middle and the ring finger of your right hand right here. See, I'm grabbing onto the both, and then your left hand and your right hand is going to do two different things. Your left hand is actually going to square it up and then flip the packet like so, okay? So square it up, and the way I flip it is I just use my thumb, reach over, turn it like so, okay? You will drop some cards at the same time when you flip over like so, but it's a really quick, easy way of turning a deck of cards, especially when they're small packets. So as soon as while you're doing this, your right hand is actually doing something else. Really simple, actually. You just do this. You're just going to turn your hand over like so, okay? So at the same time, this is what it looked like from here. That's what it looks like. And as soon as you do that, as soon as both cards turn at the same time, you're actually going to use your left thumb right here to strip off the very top card, leave it out jogged, do not square it up, leave it out jogged, and then your right hand is going to do something else. Because if you just turn it over right now, you're actually going to flash the Joker, or there's a chance of you flashing the Joker. So you're going to curl it in a slight bit, not too much, but a little bit, and then you can either square it up and then close it, or you can actually do just like some kind of like that. Well, it looks like the same thing, but those are two different things. But anyways, what you've just done is that you actually switch the King of Clubs and the Joker, the places. You have switched the places, okay? So Joker should be at the top, and the King of Clubs should be right here. See? So that's pretty much the tutorial, guys. Now let's move on to some tips. One tip that I'm going to give you is that you have to make sure you practice a lot, because it's an illusion, okay? You have to practice, and until you get it perfect, and you want to perform this relatively fast. As I said before, if you go slow, even at this speed, they're going to see what you're doing, okay? You want to make sure that you go relatively quick, so you do this, like that, okay? Which I have controlled it to the top, okay? So that's what you kind of want to do, and you want to make sure that you distract the spectators at the start. In the beginning, or if you have just learned this like a few days ago, you're not going to be good at this, so you're going to go up to them, and then when you're doing this, you're either going to say, hey, what's the time, so that they actually check their watch, or they check their phone, and then that split second when they're distracted, you're actually going to, do the thing. Do the move. And if you don't want to do that, it's fine. If you feel that confident, just go ahead and do the thing. And the other tip that I'm going to give you for today's video is that when you do the thing, when you turn the cards over, you want to make it super fluent. You don't want to do that. You just want to make sure that they turn at the same time, and as soon as they turn, your left thumb is going to strip the very top card over at the same time. That helps with the illusion really, really well, because watch, after you outjog it, they think their card is outjogged, and if you turn it really fast, this fast at the same time, whoops, they're still going to think that 3 of hearts is outjogged, and as soon as you do this, it's in the middle of the deck, so you're really clean, right? And then you just pull it back a bit, square it up, and then put it on top of the deck, and then you've controlled it to the top, okay? So those are some of the tips that I can give you. And then some of the applications. All right, because it's a card control and controlling the cards to the very top, there are so many things you can do. Okay, there are honestly so many things you can do. For an example, you can do the Cardini change. Watch. So it'll be like, okay, so the 2 of diamonds you're going to say, okay, so the 2 of diamonds is actually not in the top because I've just left it in the middle of the deck, and it's not actually at the bottom of the deck either. It makes sense, but with a little wave like that, the 2 of diamonds actually jumps right back up to the top. I think I may have flashed for a second because I was really doing that, not this, but it's fine. And sorry about the band-aid. I burnt myself while cooking chicken chicken wings actually, on the oven, so it hurts really bad when I perform, but it's fine. So those are some of the applications, and if you know some really good color changes, you can do this and you can use this control as an opener. Okay, so I've been working on the duck change lately, so let's see if I can actually pull it off. It's really weird, but here we go. 6 of clubs, leave it out jogged, and I don't know where it is. It's not at the top. That's a double left, by the way, see? And then it's not at the bottom, so it's somewhere in the middle of the deck. And let's say we are going to use this card, the 5 of hearts, to find the 6 of clubs, and this is what the duck change looks like. Okay, I don't know, I'm still working on it. I might have a tutorial coming on soon. I've been working on it quite a bit, so it's a really hard change, but whatever. I've been working on it a lot. So anyways, those are some of the applications. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've worked really hard. This is like my 4th or 5th take today alone, and I've been working on, like, I tried making this video like yesterday and then the day before, so like this is in total maybe like 20th take. Not just because it's a hard control, but it's a really easy control, but it's really hard to explain it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and like this video. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.